Were you hoping to get Apple's new MacBook Pros this year, but were completely taken aback by the extortionate prices and lackluster specs? Well, it's a good thing you have found this video, as I'm going to recommend 5 alternative Windows laptops for you to consider that have just as much horsepower as the new MacBook Pros and will save you a crapload of money in the process. And with the proceeds, you can either save it or spend it on additional software or hard drives to back up your computer or whatever you prefer. Now, these computers I'm going to show you are my own personal picks, meaning if I was looking to buy a laptop this year, then these are the ones I would consider. So let's get started. Number 5. The Inspiron 15 gaming laptop. The price and specifications speak for itself with this one. It has a 15-inch 4K IPS display, 512GB of solid-state drive, an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 960M graphics card with 4GB of dedicated graphics memory, Intel Core i7 quad-core processor which runs at 2.6 GHz and goes up to 3.5 GHz, and 16GB of RAM, and all you are paying is £1,149. Now I know what you're thinking, what's the catch? How can a laptop be this highly specified and cost such a small amount? Well, there are downsides. First of all, the design is definitely one of the worst on this list. The processor is Intel's 6th generation processor from last year, it does not have a touchscreen, it's a dust and fingerprint magnet, the keyboard is decent but not great, and the trackpad's not the best either, although people who have used it have said that they did get used to it after a while. But yeah, those are the main drawbacks. This is meant to be more of a budget gaming offering from Dell, and although the specs are great, they did not spend as much time with the physical attributes of this machine. Still, if you want a 15-inch laptop that is comparable in terms of specs to the new MacBook Pro at a significantly lower price point, this is definitely one to consider. Not to mention, the graphics card on this is far superior to the one that's on the Mac, so for extensive video editing, this is actually going to have the edge. That being said, although it is a viable option, there's a reason it's on the bottom of this list. Number 4. The Razer Blade Stealth. I thought I'd throw in a 13-inch option for those of you that don't want to carry around a 15-inch laptop. Now, this laptop fluctuates in price depending on which storage version you buy. It starts at 128GB, which costs £999. More specifically, the version I am talking about is the 512GB one, which comes in at £1,349. No, really, I checked. You're saving well over £700 with this over the equivalent 13-inch MacBook Pro, and the Mac still lacks so many specifications that this computer has. So what exactly does the Razer Blade have? Well, it has a 2560 by 1440 resolution, as well as an Intel Core i7 dual-core processor running at 2.7 GHz, and it can turbo boost to 3.5 GHz. And by the way, this laptop uses the 7th generation of Intel's processors. The scandalous new MacBook Pros are all using the older 6th generation processors from last year. Yeah, surprisingly the new MacBook Pros feel even more like a ripoff than they already did. But I digress. The Razer Blade also has 16GB of RAM, 2 USB 3 ports, as well as a Thunderbolt 3 port which supports USB-C. If only Apple gave you this kind of choice. Instead, they deprive you of it and expect you to fork out more money. So that's what you are getting for your hard-earned cash with this machine. But there is something else which I haven't told you about yet. This laptop also has a full-blown touchscreen, so that adds even more value to this machine, and the price still does not even come close to an equivalent 512GB 13-inch MacBook Pro. As I said, this is £700 cheaper. There is also a 4K resolution version that will add a few hundred extra quid onto the price, but in all honesty, a 1080p resolution would be more than enough for a 12.5-inch screen, but you will be getting a QHD resolution, which is even better. So upping the display to 4K is a waste of money in my view, but even if you did, it still wouldn't cost as much as the 13-inch MacBook Pro, as you'll be saving £530, plus you'll be able to enjoy a 4K display, a touchscreen, and a much faster processor, as well as having all your USB ports intact. In fact, you don't have to worry about getting dongles either, so you'll be saving a fair bit more than £530. So if you wanted a 13-inch MacBook Pro and are looking for an alternative, this is one I would highly recommend. Number 3. The HP Omen gaming laptop. This is a very impressive machine. It has a 15-inch Ultra HD display running at a resolution of 3840 by 2160, an Intel Core i7 quad-core processor that is clocked at 2.6 GHz and can be overclocked to 3.5 GHz. It also has 16GB of RAM, a 1TB hard drive running at 7200 RPM, as well as a 256GB PCIe SSD, and an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 965M with 4GB of dedicated graphics memory. And how much does all this cost? £1,200. No, seriously, the specs that you get for the price and design is just mind-blowing. You can get 2 of these 15-inch laptops and still you'll be saving money over one similarly specified 15-inch MacBook Pro. As for ports, it has HDMI, 3.5mm headphone jack, 2 USB 3 ports as well as 1 USB 2 port. There's even an SD card slot, which is incredibly useful for people like me. I would also advise that if you're in the UK that you get the laptop from John Lewis, as you get 2 years of free guarantee included, and should you want an additional 2 years with damage cover, then that will cost you an extra £75, and still the price does not come anywhere near the cost of a single 15-inch MacBook Pro, let alone a MacBook Pro with AppleCare. Number 2. The Asus ROG 17.3-inch gaming laptop. This computer is an absolute beast. It's awesome for gamers and both photo and video editors such as myself. This packs in a 1TB hard drive plus 512GB of PCIe SSD storage, 32GB of RAM, a 2.7GHz quad-core i7 processor that turbo boosts up to 3.6GHz, an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 980M graphics card with 8GB of dedicated graphics memory, and it comes pre-installed with Windows 10. The battery life on average though is 3 hours. This makes it an instant problem if you're looking to transport it from location to location, hence it's lower on this list. But if you'll be primarily using it at home, then the low battery life is something that you should be able to deal with, as the price and specs more than make up for it. The laptop also has 4 USB 3 ports, a HDMI, and even an Ethernet port. That is so good to see. The thing that it lacks though is an SD card slot. Now you can get an adapter and stick it into one of the 4 USB ports, but having a little slot built into the laptop is a lot nicer and more streamlined than having to always rely on a USB device. Top it off with a 1080p display and you have one of the best laptops on this list. I mean, this thing is super powerful and it costs less than £2,000. And if it couldn't get any better, it is being sold directly through Amazon. The only other place I would go to invest in something like a laptop is from John Lewis, which coincidentally is the place I bought both of my MacBook Pros. So to be exact, this laptop costs £1,974. Now if you spec up the most comparable MacBook Pro, you will be saving about 815 quid if you go with the Asus gaming laptop. And you will also have a much more capable and powerful machine for your video work, and you can also run a great amount of games on this thing too. In fact, I've actually heard some people say that this runs virtual reality games without a sweat.
I think that says it all, don't you?
You heard Harvey Specter, that is an instant winner right there. Number 1. The Dell XPS 15. You must have expected this one to end up somewhere on this list. Now unlike the other laptops which I had to research, this laptop I have put on the list without having to research it at all. Why? Because we actually have one in the house. This is not my laptop, it belongs to a member of my family who kindly allowed me to show it in this video. So the Dell XPS 15 range starts at £1,199 and go up to £1,699. The more you pay, the more RAM, processor speeds and screen resolution you get. The version that I recommend as a true alternative to the new MacBook Pros is the model that costs £1,699. It has a 4K display, Intel Core i7 processor that goes up to 3.5GHz, 2GB of dedicated graphics memory, 16GB of RAM, a 512GB SSD, and it also has a full-blown touchscreen which is incredibly responsive and an absolute joy to use. The keyboard is really nice and rubberized, which is different. The trackpad is decent, the screen is a moviegoer's dream, the design is really nice and elegant, and is also really quite lightweight. The only major complaint I have is with the speakers. Although they sound very good, they are positioned in the worst possible location, underneath the unit. That is a completely stupid design decision, so when you have it on your lap or on your bed whilst you're watching a video, the sound noticeably distorts. Now there are workarounds to stop the audio from distorting, but why didn't they reposition it on either side of the keyboard like they have with their previous iterations? It's hardly a feat of engineering to position your speakers in the correct place. So yeah, other than that, this laptop is great, and it also has really good battery life. And if you get this over the new MacBook Pros, you'll be saving a massive £1,000. Plus, you'll be getting a machine that is much more appropriately specified and has a lot more horsepower to complete the tasks you throw at it. So that's my top 5 alternatives to the 2016 MacBook Pro, and I have gotta say, it was really nice and exciting seeing just what Windows laptops you can get for such a low price when compared to the Mac equivalent. And here is the best bit of advice I can give you. Windows laptops do not have the best second-hand value. Now that can be a problem if you're looking to sell, but if you're looking to buy, you can find a lot of good bargains out there. For example, the 256GB Dell XPS 15 costs £1,249, right? My dad did some searching on eBay, and in a short amount of time he managed to get it used and in excellent condition for £600. And it came with a free case. Now try pitting that against any MacBook Pro and tell me how much value you are getting and how much money you are saving. That's what makes other laptops so exciting to buy. With Macs, the price you see is what you ultimately have to pay, but with Windows, you can get so much bang for your buck. So my question to you guys and girls, what Windows laptop or desktop are you looking to switch to when your current Mac reaches the end of its lifespan? Let me know in the comments below. I already know which one I'll be getting in the future, but I will reveal that in an upcoming video. In the meantime, you are more than welcome to guess which one I'll be getting. Also, I'll throw in another recommendation for you. Another laptop I would seriously consider getting is an Alienware 17 gaming laptop. They all have great specs for the price, but I would personally go with this top-end version right here. It still doesn't cost anywhere near as much as a 15-inch MacBook Pro, and you will be getting so much more. Things like ports, a better keyboard, and oh yeah, far better specs. So that's about it, guys. Thank you very much for watching this video, I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on my future content. As always, I will catch all of you next time. Take care.